Please clap it up right now for the very funny, the very talented, the very pretty, Mr. Pete Giovine. Clap it up.
Guys, keep it going for Ben Morrison right there. Let him know, guys. Oh, guys. Welcome to Superfunny. How you guys doing, Improv? Well, it feels good in here, guys. It feels good. I wanted to take my time to tell you a little bit of my story, okay? My story is a story that involves the Jersey Shore. Yeah. That's where I'm from, if you couldn't tell by everything that's happening in front of you right now. This only happens in New Jersey. Looks like an Italian Jimmy Neutron. I don't know what's happening. I grew up in Toms River, New Jersey. I was born in Point Pleasant, and I worked the summers in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. I say this because I want to set up immediately. I have a little bit of Carney in me. Yeah, I used to work stop and go wheels on the boardwalk. I had one of the biggest mouths on the boardwalk, one of the biggest movers of merchandise on the boardwalk. But the reason why I also want to point out my geography is because we were an hour south of New York City. And there was a stereo in my living room that picked up the New York stations. And I would listen to 98.7 KISS FM with DJ Red Alert. And I became a hip hop fan, a rap fan. Not when it was cool. I'm talking mid-80s, everyone's still on Guns N' Roses. I was on rap, right? My biggest heroes at the time, Run DMC, right? Went to Chinatown. My mom bought me my first gold chain so I can be like Eric B. and Rakim. Right? Slick Rick, Public Enemy, Boogie Down Productions. Yes. Only problem is, guys, I look like this. I was a little white preppy kid who might be lost in a forest looking at this photo. Not sure if there's a search and rescue team coming or not. I seem pretty happy about it. But that's what I look like, you know, and I didn't think I could become a rapper or be a rapper, right? Because I wasn't black dude, because that's all they were, right? All the guys were black dudes. There were some exceptions, right? You had Beastie Boys, obviously, they were white guys, yeah? Beastie Boys fans? Right? We also had Third Base. Oh, love Third Base. But for some reason, I never connected the dots. I never believed in myself to be able to be on a stage and rap to a crowd. I didn't think it was possible. Now keep in mind, back then in the mid-'80s, late 80s, it wasn't like today. In Trump's America, where you could have any Xanax-addicted rapper with a face tattoo be a rapper. This is pre-Eminem, guys. All my favorite rappers look like this. I've learned looking back, I realized I wanted to be black. I did. Yeah, I did. Well, we'll get into the other conversations of that in a bit. But I loved them. I loved the rappers. I loved them. I wanted to be one of them. I tanned easily. I tried, guys. I tried my best. Before we move on, is this child porn? It's debatable. Was my brother nervous texting me this photo 2 days ago for this presentation? Yeah. He was like, is this even legal? I'm like, it's fine, I think. I mean, it's me. I'm receiving it. For the record, I consent to that transaction. But little Pete in first grade, it's a preppy little kid, right? Rocking it, that's me in the lower right there. Killing it, preppy style. I was happy in first grade, okay? But then something happened in second grade. My mom bought me a pair of plaid pants. And I love these plaid pants. They made me so happy. All right, so first grade right there, second grade class photo, boom. Way happier. Way happier. Even the girl next to me is fired up about it. Even she's got a little pants energy there. She's like, yeah, these are great pants. I'm glad you wore them today. But I love those plaid pants. Those plaid pants were like my favorite pants. I loved them. I identified with them. I felt free in them. They were almost so ridiculous, it defaced anyone trying to attack you because it's like I'm already making fun of myself. Gotta get out ahead. Now earlier I told you I was from the Jersey Shore. I grew up on the boardwalk. I was working stop and go wheels. The inside wheel right there has a 1 in 45 chance of winning. The outside wheel tells you the value of the prize. Guys, got the biggest prizes on the boardwalk going out. Color TVs, mics, microwaves, stereos, VCRs. Girls, I got 22 inches for you. Ladies, I'm talking TVs. Try the game one time. It was a hustle. Running stop and go wheels. We had a game called Pick It. You pick 3 numbers. I was looking at this photo. I was like, wait a second. They're encouraging you to pick your favorite numbers, your birthday, address, or license plate. Like, was I a part of some sort of identity theft scheme I didn't know about? Just trying to get you to play your social security number? But that was my job, and all through high school and all through college. I eventually graduated college, thank God. I moved to New York City, saw some shit. But I got on the ground floor of an amazing new show called Comedy Gone Wild. It was a show that would eventually become a big variety show called Beecher's Madhouse. So I started working on the show, and one day I got a phone call from the producer of it. He's like, listen, I want you to host the beginning of the show tonight. Come up with a character. I was like, cool. I was all excited. Walking through Midtown, I stop at a Goodwill. Going through, looking just for cool clothes, something. Trying to figure it out. Found an amazing pair of plaid pants. Amazing pair of plaid pants. Even in 2nd grade, Pete was like, we gotta get these plaid pants. We gotta get these plaid pants. I knew they were special because the character I was trying to go for was a character that was a ringmaster, because the show was really like a circus, okay? It had the atmosphere of a circus, the energy of a nightclub. There was all sorts of crazy stuff happening around you. Variety acts, people hanging from the ceiling, all crazy stuff. So I wanted it to be like a ringmaster type vibe, but I got home and I pulled out a fat rope gold chain, and I was like, wait a second. What if we have him rocking the plaid pants, but he's also rocking gold chains? He's like a preppy golfer dude who can rap. It made sense to me, guys. And that is when the birth of Petey Boy Jones happened. Petey Boy Jones was my stage name as a rapper, okay? It was those plaid pants. And let me tell you a little something. I didn't realize it at the time, but when I found those plaid pants, I realized they empowered me, right? I was afraid to become a rapper because I didn't look like those guys. The pants were like, fucking own it, man. These are ridiculous pants. If you rock these pants with gold chains, who's gonna say anything? Where do they start? It was almost like a protective coating I put around myself to be myself. So I rocked that show the first night, and then the next night, I came home and I started writing rhymes to open this show. A show that eventually became Beecher's Madhouse. So we were in New York City. We quickly moved to Las Vegas, the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, in 2004. Now guys, a couple things. Vegas was nuts at that time. A lot of shit was happening. I learned some things living in a hotel. I lived in the hotel for 2.5 years. Learned a couple of rules, 2 rules in particular. Number 1, don't gamble in the casino. That's your living room. You don't want to chase in your living room. Rule number 2, she's a prostitute. She's a prostitute. Doesn't matter what you're thinking. You're thinking otherwise. She's a prostitute. The show was a big success, and all over the billboards in Las Vegas was Petey Boy Jones up there with the cast, rocking those plaid pants. High hair, gold chain, plaid pants. I was so proud of myself that I created this character. I thought it was so original. I thought it was Petey Boy Jones. I started looking at some old photos. Turns out, I was my dad. High hair, gold chains, plaid pants. Uncanny, uncanny. Now, the beginning of the show, one of my favorite rappers at the time still was Nas, right? So Nas had this, amazing beats to his tracks, and I would do a rap over it, okay? So I would come out on stage, I would jump as high as I could in the air, right? I got some ups right there. Come on, you gotta give me credit for that shit. Yeah. You can see I'm holding my gold chains right there because I don't want to hit my face, okay? Here's a shot of me not doing that. But when I landed on the stage, that beat would drop, right? And it was like such a legendary beat, right? It fired me up. To me, it was like the hypest beat that Nas ever rapped over. And it was like high energy, and I wanted to paint the picture of what Beecher's Madhouse was. So I would get people hyped up, they'd be waving their arms, we'd be going nuts, and I would be like, now let's get it all in perspective. Beecher's Madhouse is a show you can get with. It's Beanie Boy Jones on the mic. I'm at the Hard Rock on a Saturday night. The place is packed, every seat sold. The go-go dancers are 18 years old. And they were, guys, they were. But it was like this dream that was being fulfilled. I was able to rap, move crowds, jump around. And I think it was all because of these plaid pants. They unlocked that recipe that I needed to compute and to be myself as a performer and live my truth on stage. Now, I can't tell this story without mentioning the cast of Beecher's Madhouse. It's a crazy variety show. These people became my best friends. They were freaks, they were little people, they were rejects of society. We had Leonard, the master of hula hoops. We had Amazon Ashley, 7'1" Amazonian, that might also be a man. We have Betty Bonnie, she got herself into some tight spaces. We have a guy that clearly isn't Paul Rubens. We had the world's tiniest stripper. She was amazing. She would climb the pole and then spin around. It was a great show. We had a contortionist that would shoot bow and arrows at me, and I'd have to hold the target while I'm blocking my crotch. That carried over into my rap style as well. We had Washing Machine Man. He was a man that we would put 6 sets of handcuffs on and shackles, put him in an industrial washer. I would start the washer. He would have to get out all of the handcuffs, right? We'd put him in there, hope for the best, guys. He would have to give me a signal. It was a peace sign to let me know that I could stop the washer and open it, because he's just tumbling around. But I'll be honest with you, sometimes there were some miscommunications. I didn't realize the signal was being given. Turns out he was taking too long to get these handcuffs off, and he came out looking like this. This is the last photo of Washing Machine Man, guys. That's his ghost right there. Beecher's Madhouse was mostly known for our little people acts. We had Oompa Loompas. We started with a group called Mini Kiss. A bunch of little people dressed as kids playing the instruments on stage. It was amazing. We could have stopped there, but we didn't. Whoever was hot at the time, we would miniaturize them and get them out there. Mini Britney Spears, let's go. Mini Prince. Right here is Mini Nicki Minaj. She's got the biggest, smallest butt you'll ever find. Here's me hanging with my posse. Let me tell you about this guy. This is Mini Kanye West. The biggest, littlest dickhead you'll ever come across. This guy's a real piece of shit. My DJ at times was 12 years old. He needed a step stool. The show was big. We had a lot of celebrities coming through. Everyone. Whether it's Floyd Mayweather. What are we going to do? Mini Floyd Mayweather. Mini Pacquiao. I reffed that fight. That was my job, guys. And I can tell you this, reffing little person sports, very difficult. I didn't realize the ref gets involved. I did some little person wrestling refereeing. Yeah, it got real. I knew wrestling is acting, but I can promise you this is not acting. I was terrified and scared. I didn't know what happened. By the way, how did I even get up there? What's going on? This guy can't believe it. He's like, oh my God. It's just... In closing, reffing, little person refereeing, wrestling, any sort of thing, just don't do it. It's not going to work out for you. These guys are my family, though. We'd spend holidays together. Here's us at Thanksgiving. Us at work around the water cooler. Here's a goat that I've known for 10 years. That's not even a joke. I know that goat better than most of my friends in LA. That goat helped me move. I never got wrapped up in drugs and alcohol. I dated a porn star, yes. That's me and Stormy Daniels in 2006. She went to a charity golf outing. I never heard from her since. I'm not ashamed of dating Stormy Daniels. The only thing I'm ashamed of in this photo is that right there. It was a soul patch. I thought it made sense, but I guess when you're dating a porn star, it makes sense. But it all goes back to these pants, guys. I want to tell you this: if I didn't create the character of Petey Boy Jones, rocking those chains, I don't think I would have seen the stages that I hit. I don't think I would have been able to rap in front of people. I credit these pants. But I leave you with this. I tell you, find your pair of pants. Find your pair of plaid pants, whatever it is. Whatever it is, whatever makes you connect to yourself and live your truth, find those things. Turns out, I was wearing them the whole time. I had no idea. So guys, if you let me real quick, I got 1 minute. I'd like to do Petey Boy Jones' version of opening up the Superfunny show. So if you'll allow me, let's get this shit started here. So yeah, it starts with me doing a Mr. Rogers. Put your hands up, put your hands up. Say super funny. Say super funny. Say super funny. Say super funny. Yo, now let's get it all in perspective. The Superfunny show is a show you can get with. It's Petey Boy Jones on the mic. I'm at the Improv on a Sunday night. The place is packed, every seat sold. The bartender's 70 years old. We got multimedia, comedy truth walkers hanging out with hot chicks, ballers, and shit talkers. That's how I do. I'm talking about me and my Superfunny crew. First up, you know he's got the chorus on. Make some fucking noise from my man Ben Morrison. Next man rocks microphones. Make some fucking noise for Petey Boy Jones. We got the hottest chicks in the city. Guys, if you don't hook up tonight, it's a pity. We're doing this live in LA. That's why you're hanging out with models and dudes that are gay. So yo, if you're on my team, when I count to 3, let me hear you all scream. 1, 2, 3. My name is Pete Giovine. Thank you so much.